And 4 minutes to go till launch. We see another great shot of the Ariane-5. Everything still remains green for tonight. Total payload, as you heard, 10.8 metric tons, a new record for the Ariane-5 ECA. 10,865 kilograms, to be exact. 10 metric tons made up of our 2 satellites, ViaSat 2 and Eutelsat 172b. The rest are support structures, including the Silda, covering Eutelsat 172b and serving as the base for ViaSat 2. Looking now at highly skilled engineers who work at a building called CDL3. It's located very close to the launch pad. I've been there a couple of times. It's really a bunker with walls and roof several feet thick. In the event of an emergency, you can seal it off from the outside world. 4 groups of people work there. The launch operations team, the Ariane production team, program production team, the quality management team, and the safety team for tonight's launch. And they are monitoring all of the technical aspects of the launcher and the payload. And tonight, they're responsible for launching the 558th and 559th satellites to be carried into space by the Ariane family of rockets. Another great view of the Ariane-5 ECA. You see it's been raining a bit today, but no problem there. We can launch in the rain, and it does rain here in Kourou. Just over 2 minutes from now, the Ariane-5 will roar to life, turn night into day here in Kourou, and send ViaSat 2 and Eutelsat 172b into space. You see those yellow arms around the rocket? We call them the bra down here in Kourou. They're not holding the rocket up. That's gravity. But what they're doing is supporting the fueling cables. And here in Kourou, that fuel is very cold, and it's very hot in the Amazon jungle, so it boils off. We have to keep topping the tanks off till the last moment, and then they'll pull away from the rocket. Well, we're closing in on the last seconds of the countdown. The VIPs here at Jupiter are heading out to the balcony to witness the launch. We have another group of VIPs from ViaSat and from Boeing, and they're out at Toucan.
À tous de DDO, attention pour moins 1 minute. Top, H0 moins 1 minute.
And there is the announcement, the 1 minute mark. I was saying those VIPs are out at Toucan, about 5 kilometers from the launch pad. They are going to see, hear, and you better believe they are going to feel that rocket when it goes off the pad 40 seconds from right now. Special greetings to those watching at ViaSat locations around the world. Eutelsat has employees all around the globe. We welcome them. Airbus Defence and Space, and all the other industry partners in Europe. Okay, here it is, what we've been waiting for, the countdown in French.
À tous de DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage des 2 EAP et décollage Ariane-237. Les paramètres à bord sont normaux. La propulsion est nominale. Tous les paramètres à bord sont normaux.
Well, no doubt about it. Night has turned to day, and the rumble in the Amazon jungle is that mighty Ariane-5 ECA. She's roaring out over Devil's Island. Take a
La
look at that
propulsion est
picture
correcte, la
right
trajectoire est
now.
nominale.
1 minute into flight coming up, and the Ariane-5 has already broken the sound barrier here in Kourou. The massive Jupiter facility that I'm at, we're going to start feeling it and hearing it, and here it is right now. I can begin to feel it. The massive Jupiter facility literally shaking as 1,300 tons of thrust breaks the Ariane-5 free from the bounds of Earth's gravity. 90% of that power is coming from the two boosters, burning 240 tons of solid propellant in 2 minutes, better than 2 tons a second. When the boosters have done their job, less than a minute from now, Ariane will be over 70 kilometers in the sky, racing away from us more than 1.6 kilometers a second. And that's faster than a speeding bullet. Information coming to us now from Galat, the
pilotage est calme, la trajectoire est nominale.
Right behind us here in Jupiter. The next major event, the burnout and the jettison of those two solid rocket boosters. That will happen at 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the flight. So about 10 more seconds.
La propulsion est nominale.
Give us the horsepower, and then they will extinguish and fall away.
Séparation des deux EAP.
And there you hear it from the
Trajectoire nominale.
The boosters have done their job. We don't need them anymore. On the pad, the Ariane-5 weighed 780 tons. By the way, look at the pictures from a previous flight of the boosters falling away. We're down now to
La propulsion est nominale. Les paramètres à bord sont normaux.
That is Weight Watchers if you've ever seen it. In the rocket business, when you get lighter, you go faster. And Ariane is now really moving on out about 91 kilometers into the sky.
La trajectoire est nominale.
Watch the speed number. 9.3 is our target number. Next up, the jettison of the fairing. It's covered the satellites on the ground and protected us from friction in the early part.
Le pilotage est calme, la propulsion est nominale.
And we don't need it anymore. It is going to be separating in a couple of seconds. Aha.
Séparation coiffe, trajectoire nominale.
Hear the DDO say separation coiffe. The fairing falls away. There you see the great photos from a previous flight. We just lost another 2 tons. And with the fairing gone, ViaSat 2 is exposed to space for the first time. While the launcher is technically in space,
la propulsion est nominale.
A long way to go. I call your attention to the performance numbers on the screen, and you'll see that graph in the upper right-hand corner. The desired flight plan for Ariane-5, you'll see a dot moving along that line. We want that dot and that line to overlap each other perfectly. That means that our performance is nominal, and you'll keep hearing the DDO call out performance is nominal. The main cryogenic stage, or EPC, is burning. It'll burn for 9 minutes. The heavy lifting being done by the mighty Vulcan engine, gulping down 320 kilograms, about 700 pounds of fuel a second. That's 500 times more than a jet engine that you probably flew down here to Kourou on if you're here in the audience. You look at the images again right now, they are animated images.
La trajectoire est nominale.
We have the first stage, and then you have the Silda, the black covering that is over the top of Eutelsat 172b.
Propulsion est nominale.
And then ViaSat 2 on the tip of the sword as it makes its way on out toward orbit. You see again Galiot, the space tracking station that we have here in the local area. We're going to use 5 of those.
Tous les paramètres à bord sont normaux.
We'll tell you more about those later. 537, you just heard the DDO say that performance is normal, and normal is good here at Corvu.
La propulsion est nominale.
Replays coming up in a moment. I could sit and watch replays of the Ariane launches all night long.
Il reste 3 minutes de propulsion de l'étage à propulsion cryogénique.
Look at that raw power when those solid rocket boosters fired off. And once they do, the Ariane-5 is committed. It's going off that launch pad. 6:20 into the flight now. And the number one question I get from people is when I tell them, hey, you know, I'm going to French Guiana for a rocket launch, they scratch their head, they say, why French Guiana? Well, the Corvu Space Base is about 300 miles north of the equator. And the Earth rotates faster here than it does, say, at Kennedy Space Center. Thus, the Ariane-5 gets a huge boost from the Earth's rotation, allowing satellite operators to launch heavier payloads, add more fuel to their birds, increase operational life, meaning more revenue.
Il reste 2 minutes de propulsion de l'étage à propulsion cryogénique.
It pays more to, it pays off, rather, to launch with Arianespace.
La trajectoire est nominale.
That's the bottom line. As we approach the 744 mark, that will be the next key thing to watch for. The Ariane-5 will be picked up by our tracking stations in Natal, Brazil. Tonight we're using 5 tracking stations. I told you about Galat. That is here, Natal in Brazil. Then out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean is Ascension Island. We use that tonight. Libreville, Gabon, on the west coast of Africa. And
acquisition de la télémesure lanceur par la station de Natal au Brésil.
And again, what happens is Ariane sends data to those ground stations, and that gives us the flight data in real time on how it's progressing. Later, engineers are going to pore over every single bit of that data to determine exactly how the vehicle performed every split second of its climb away from Corvu. And when we near 8:40, that's just a few seconds away, it'll be the cutoff for the main stage or the EPC.
La propulsion est toujours nominale.
You hear some of the calls from the DDO, and you're going to begin to see the flame on the end of the EPC begin to flicker.
Fin de propulsion de l'étage à propulsion cryogénique.
And
séparation de l'EPC.
But it's separated, and the upper stage has fired.
Allumage de l'étage supérieur cryogénique. Trajectoire nominale.
And everything is nominal, and that means the main stage has done its job. Great pictures from a previous mission of it falling away. It drops into the ocean off Africa. The upper stage will burn for about 16 minutes. We're going pretty fast
now. La propulsion est nominale.
Ariane-5 is well on its way toward Africa. It's gaining speed by the second, and we again see some of the key personnel and VIPs here at the Jupiter Auditorium, located right below us. Most of the VIPs got here yesterday. They've been touring the base.
La trajectoire est nominale.
The local area. And now they have the best seat in the house to enjoy tonight's launch. Another group of VIPs, like we say, from Boeing and ViaSat, are out at Tucson. That's an outdoor viewing site, and that's why you may not see quite as many people here at Jupiter as normal. And history is being made tonight. ViaSat 2 is the most powerful satellite ever launched with 300 gigabits.
Tous les paramètres à bord sont normaux.
More than double the capacity of ViaSat 1, which previously held the title in the Guinness Book of World Records. ViaSat 2 represents the cutting edge of so-called high-throughput satellite technology, combining extremely powerful Ka-band satellite payloads with ground segment. Let's hear more about ViaSat 2.